Greetings, ladies and gentlefish, and today I'm going to bring you a pair of replays in the KV-13 Russian Tier 7 medium tank. So this first game, this is the first game I played with this tank fully upgraded. I finally had the top gun fitted. Before that, I'd been using the 75mm gun that you can mount on the T-34. Yeah, imagine how much fun that was. I mean, actually, I did have the odd half-decent result here and there, and it wasn't actually the penetration and the lack of alpha damage that drove me spare, it was the dodgy accuracy and the appalling aim time. But nonetheless, here we have the 85mm gun. This is the same gun that you get on the T-34-85, so basically I played the T-34-85 until I'd unlocked the gun. And then that got mounted on here, but I couldn't mount it straight away because I had to get the suspension and the top turret, blah 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 blah. Anyway, so we are here on Abbey, not my favourite map in the world. It's very linear, just basically a series of corridors, leaving you with limited opportunities for flanking, but never mind. We're top tier, which is nice, and we're going to try and make a bit of an impact on this game. So the KV-13, what's it like? Well, basically, you get a fairly mobile machine. As you can see here, we're happily trundling along at 50 kilometers an hour. Fairly mobile, with a gun that's alright. I mean, it's very much like the other Tier 7 medium tank guns, around 140, 150 penetration, which can be a little bit lackluster. This one gets 180 alpha damage, although I rolled for 160 there, but to compensate, it gets rather dubious accuracy. But perhaps the defining feature of the KV-13 is the pretty respectable armour. So the armour scheme on this tank is basically the same as on an IS, give or take. The turret's a bit weaker, but the hull armour is essentially the same as on an IS, which is nice. So this T-25-2 so far hasn't had any luck hurting me. I've managed to put a couple of shots through him. Although you may have noticed that we've lost 3 tanks already. There's the T-25, shot into his hull. You see we roll high there for 197, but he puts a shot into me. I use my repair kit to try and move forward and put another one in. I bounce, he puts one through me, I lose my gunner, boo. We're losing 0.5. And where is he? Oh, he just fired, but he'll probably have a respectable reload with that 90mm gun. Okay, so I'm probably going to move up at this point. 1-6. At least someone got a kill. I've got a friend with me in his KV-1S. Very keen to get a piece of this guy. He misses his shot though and pays for it with his life. I put one in. Hopefully I'm going to reload before this guy does. Put another in. Leave him on 28 health. I now also have a tank destroyer behind me. And we take out the T-25. Now alas, I've already used my repair kit, and that little E-25 just took out my engine. Oh Christ. Okay. So. E-25 with armor piercing ammo has 155mm of penetration on average. This tank can fairly reliably bounce 150mm of penetration, providing you angle it, and preferably if the enemies don't know where to shoot you. And the KV-13 isn't actually a very common sight on the battlefield, so often they don't know where to shoot you. So despite the fact that my engine's gone, so you can bounce that shot, I'm actually taking this E-25 to town. I'm completely ripping him apart, which is nice. We're losing 313, by the way. One more should do it. And this E-25 was really not very good. As soon as he saw the way this engagement was going, he should have just run away. I mean, well, here you can see with my damaged engine. Oh look, 414. Guess what the result of this game's going to be. There we go. But there we are, you see. Managed to kill him as well. So I'm trundling back to base as quickly as I possibly can with my buggered engine. Maybe I can put some shots into the base. Basically, I'm not expecting to win this game, but I'm thinking, well, I might be able to rack up a bit more XP and a few more credits before I die. Or at least before they cap out. That's essentially my logic. I honestly can't remember if I make it or not. It doesn't look like I'm going to. Oh, no, there we go. Panther comes after me, and someone drives out of the cap circle. Aim in, put a shot through his lower plate. And, oh, they cap. Okay, fine, screw it. Bang, set his engine on fire. But he has an automatic fire extinguisher, and that's the game. I actually end up surviving. So, what to take away from that? Well, it was a horrible, horrible defeat, but those things happen. You know, you sometimes just get games where the enemy team or your team, one or the other, just completely collapses. But, first game in that tank when it was fully upgraded, and I was pretty impressed. You can look at the post-battle results in a sec, but you'll see that the KV-13 performed well. I could not have asked it to do any more than it did. It was awesome. So I was really quite gratified about that, which was really cool. So, second game is going to be a little bit different, but I'm not going to give the game away. These two replays do have something in common though. So let's move on to the second game. Here we go with game number 2. Again, we are top tier, and we are here on Corellia. This is a standard battle. And I've just sort of pinged the map at the sort of G7-ish area, so, you know, trying to indicate I'm going there. Hopefully some guys will come with me. If you look at the team composition, the enemy team have an awful lot of heavy tanks. Our team have an awful lot of tank destroyers. Oh, good lord. Okay, well, let's just see what we can do. We are top tier. So, you know, we should be able to have a good impact on this game. Myself, there's an ELC, T-49's also rushing off. No, ELC's diverted, fair enough. SU-12244 has decided that this team sucks and is going to lose. He has just decided that from the outset. Insert rant about XVM here. Yeah, sure, you had a losing streak. Congratulations. Look at my noob meter stats and you'll see that I have had one hell of a losing streak since March. Oh, apparently I'm shit. Although, he can't spell. But anyway, put a shot there into the T-50. That was on the move. I wasn't actually expecting it to hit, but I'm certainly not going to say no to the hit. And we managed to take him out. Again, wasn't expecting that to do any damage and hit, but, you know, I will run with it. And he says, look at the minimap. I'm not exactly sure what he's trying to draw our attention to. Maybe that there's a relative lack of people on the other side of the map. Well, yeah, there is. Fair enough. Okay. Apparently it's pathetic. This guy really got on my nerves. Basically, he's decided the game is lost before he'd even started playing. And that's just not a good attitude to take. But I'm not going to go on about that. Because I've already put a video up about how I dislike it when people do that, so I'm not going to harp on about it here. Oh, we get shot by the KV-3, although a bit lucky in that our tracks eat it. The tracks on this tank are quite good, so they do eat an amusing number of shells, which is quite nice. Okay, so the scores are currently 2 apiece. They've lost their 2 scouts. We've lost our T-49 and something else that I can't currently see. Oh, both T-49s. Fair enough. SU-12244 driver really should be spending less time using his mouth and more time using his gun. But there we go. Right. KV-3 moving across. I put a shot into him and back off. Alas, I still take damage. Pay attention to that KV-3 scores at the end of this game. He does rather well. Put a shot into his side for 160, low damage roll, but there we go, c'est la vie. Now, I'm the only one up here. We've got an assortment of people, ooh, Tiger P. We've got an assortment of people at K6. I would like them, well, they appear to be putting in some shots, so I'm not going to have a go at them or be too harsh. I swing my turret round to try and get a shot on this T-29, who's harassing our 88, but I can only see the side of his turret. And the side of the turret on the T-29 and the T-32 is actually quite well armoured. Certainly if you're in a tier 7 medium tank. Oh, but his hull I can potentially put shots into, and but, you know, he's a ninja. So he just moves forward at exactly the right time to dodge my shot. We put in another shot, and that one actually does damage, but it's a low damage roll. But, you know, wasn't actually really expecting it to do damage, so I'm not going to complain too much about it. We've just lost an ELC AMX. The scores are currently 3-4. I have another shot. Now, it does occur to me, it's difficult. Maybe instead of focusing on this guy, I should have focused on the heavy and tank destroyer at C8, but nah, never mind. I might have taken shots in the side if I'd done so. It's all a bit up in the air. So, managed to take out one of their KV-3s. Oh no, sorry. I pointed out the wrong KV-3 to pay attention to, but pay attention to one of their KV-3s when you look at the post-battle results after this. So, gun depression on this tank is really not very good. Alas, I cannot get a shot on that T-29, but I can put one into that Black Prince for a very average damage roll of 180. Can I do it again? Black Prince is looking at me, and I bounce, and I also... Was that just bouncing the Black Prince, or was that a shot to my bum? Oh well. Right, a lot of the rest of our team has just died, although Tiger manages to pull one back, but then we lose our ARL. So there's only a few of us left. Basically, our tank destroyers died for not that much achieved, if I'm honest. So I've loaded a premium shot here for all the good it does. This is another one because I want to make sure I get the penetration on the Black Prince. As it is, the shot goes through his side, and I wouldn't have needed a premium shot for that to work, but never mind. So, armor piercing again, and there's the rear of that KV-3. He's got some heavy tanks to his front, so he's probably going to go around the corner to deal with them. That shot misses, alas. So I was thinking of moving forward to try and help these heavy tanks by putting shots into the rear of that KV-3, but oh crap, there's a Tiger P. Right, okay, this is dubious. So we put one shot in there that also appears... No, it didn't. It didn't actually take out his tracks. I was hoping it would, but the Tiger misses his shot. That shot bounces on the Tiger, but he takes out my tracks. And this is a bit of a dodgy situation because the Tiger... Ooh! The Tiger has more health than I do, better armour than I do, or at least better armour relative to the gun, you know. He's got a better gun. Oh, that was a terrible shot. So therefore, I actually have to aim for weak spots or flank or whatever. Ooh, but that sets him on fire, which is lucky. Whereas he doesn't really. So he's currently turning his gun and his hull in opposite directions, which is not a very good idea. He fires that one off completely prematurely. And there's another shot into him. Now you could argue that maybe I should be taking it upon myself to try and track this guy. But the reason I'm not doing that is because he appears to have lag or something, although I think I try it here. No, it doesn't work. He appears to have lag or something, and so he's actually not doing any damage to me. He's constantly missing his shots, and I'm trying to duke his shots. His turret's turning very slowly. There we go. Turret has turned, and final shot into him to take him out. SU-122-44 keeps whinging, moaning, complaining, and generally being a very butthurt little princess. Sorry, no offence to princesses anyway. And we're being capped now. Ideally, I would pop back up to about G7, try and spot these guys and get some shots onto them. However, I'm very conscious that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enemy tanks around the cap circle, so that if they decide to cap, I'm basically not going to really have time to do that. And so instead, I guess I try and take these guys head on. Which is a terrible idea, and I'm probably just going to die, but I don't really have the time to do anything else, or to drive right the way back down the valley and completely wrap around. I just don't have the time. Now you could argue I should load APCR here, because the last tank I saw that was facing me was that KV-3. And yeah, penetrating him from the front when I don't want to take the time to aim for weak spots is going to be an interesting challenge. I'm keeping him spotted, but there's no one else to shoot the guy, so... Oh. And I die. I took a preemptive shot from someone. If I was going to guess, I would guess the VK, and then the KV-3 kills me. Actually, looking at that, it appeared that the KV-3 in question, and that guy gets an awesome score, the KV-3 in question did not actually mount the top gun. The top 122mm gets a muzzle brake, much like it does on the IS, I believe. And so it looked like he was actually using the 107mm from the T-150. So even more well done to him. He did a lot of damage, basically wrecked our team, despite not using the top gun. But anyway, I wanted to show that game because it just showed off some of the strengths of the KV-13. It's mobile, it's good in a close-range knife fight. I got a bit lucky. I was able to duke the shots from that Tiger P and basically take very little damage from him and pick him apart. And you can see that I come out of this with a fairly respectable damage score. And also pay attention to where that SU-122-44 places. And take your guess now as to whether you think he's going to be at the top of the team. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that game, or that pair of games, even if they were both losses. If you did, please feel free to catch some of my other videos and or subscribe to my channel, and I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao, ciao.